This is a short video to explain the course materials that I'm using in my professional responsibility course. Some students find this a little confusing at first because it's not a traditional case book. We're not going to be reading cases like you do in most law school subjects, and which is very appropriate for most law school subjects. Instead, we're going to be focused on the model rules of professional conduct and as they're tested on the MPRE. Now, the MPRE is a multiple choice exam. It's all multiple choice. I have taken it once I started teaching professional responsibility. I've taken the MPRE over and over again so I could get a sense of how the rules are tested and design my own questions to look like MPRE questions so that they'll be familiar, the framework, the structure of the questions, the way they ask about the rules will feel familiar to you when you actually take the MPRE. And so I have two books, a Glannon guide for professional responsibility, and it's multiple choice questions. There's little introductions to the chapter, questions, and then explanations. And then an additional supplement that I make available either as a free PDF on my course website, or you can order an inexpensive print-on-demand copy from Amazon. And this is 500 MPRE practice questions for whatever the given year is, 2020, or next year it will be 2021. And so altogether, there's something like 730 questions. If you're taking this in the fall semester of 2020, we're still using the second edition of the Glannon guide. There's a third edition that will come out later in the semester that will reflect some changes the ABA has made to the model rules in the last 2 years and fix a few other things that needed to be corrected in the book. But overall, we're going to be using that book, and your work outside of the class should be doing practice questions instead of reading cases. So you're going to look at the rules. You could read through the whole model rules in one afternoon, probably, all of the model rules and all of the comments. It's not a lot of content, but you do need to do a lot of practice questions. And so you're going to do the practice questions from the two books, and my exam will include a lot of questions from those books. I'm not going to tell you which ones in advance, but if you have really mastered the questions in the Glannon guide and the 500 MPRE practice question, you should be in good shape for the final exam. There will also be some questions on the final exam about things we talk about in class or recent ABA ethics opinions and things like that. A few questions you haven't seen before, but there will be enough questions from the books that if you've really done all the practice questions in the two books, you should do very well on the exam. Now, there's some other materials that we'll talk about a little bit as we go along in the course. These ethics opinions, the restatement of the law governing lawyers, which is largely based on the ABA's model rules, to clarify certain issues, or for areas like attorney-client privilege where the model rules don't really give us much guidance and the restatement actually does. And so from time to time in the course, we're going to talk a lot about the restatement, but most of the course is going to be based on the ABA model rules. And in either case, most of your work outside of the class, the materials you should be focused on are the two books of the practice questions and the lectures that explain it.